Imagine a world where the stars whisper secrets of compassion, where every blade of grass hums with the promise of awakening, and where a single heart's resolve can ripple through lifetimes to reshape eternity. What if, in this very moment, a future Buddha walks among us, unseen yet ever present, weaving threads of hope into the fabric of our suffering world? This is no mere dream. It is the story of Maitreya, the Bodhisattva destined to guide humanity into a new dawn. Stay with me, for this tale will unravel mysteries that touch the soul, urging you to see the world anew, and perhaps to act with a courage you never knew you had. The air was heavy with the scent of lotus blossoms, their delicate petals swaying in the twilight breeze of a forgotten realm. Long ago, in a time when the earth still sang with the Dharma's fading echoes, a young wanderer named Ananda, no relation to the Buddha's disciple, stood at the edge of a vast, shimmering lake. Its surface mirrored the cosmos, each ripple a story of lives lived and yet to come. Ananda's heart was restless, burdened by questions that no teacher in his village could answer. Why did suffering cling to the world like dew to a leaf? Why did joy vanish as swiftly as a deer in the clear forest? And most of all, what hope was there for a world drowning in greed and delusion? As Ananda gazed into the lake, a vision stirred within its depths, not a reflection, but a presence. A figure, radiant yet gentle, emerged from the water's heart, clothed in robes of golden light. His eyes held the wisdom of countless lifetimes, yet his smile was as warm as a friend's embrace. This was no ordinary being. This was Maitreya, the Bodhisattva of loving kindness, the one promised to awaken the world when the time was right. Ananda's breath caught in his throat, for he knew, without knowing how, that this moment would change everything. And so begins our journey into the tale of Maitreya, a story not just of a future Buddha, but of the spark within each of us, waiting to ignite. If this stirs your heart, consider subscribing to join us on this path of discovery and share this story with others who seek wisdom's light. Let us step closer, for the tale deepens. Ananda, trembling yet curious, knelt before the radiant figure. "Who are you?" he whispered, his voice barely louder than the wind. Maitreya's smile widened, as if he had been waiting for this question across eons. "I am Maitreya," he said, "a servant of the Dharma, a friend to all who suffer. I am here to show you what lies beyond the veil of this world's pain." Ananda's mind raced. He had heard tales of Maitreya, whispered by monks under starlit skies, but to meet him was beyond imagination. "Why me?" Ananda asked, his voice quivering with doubt. "I am no sage, no monk, just a wanderer with a heavy heart." Maitreya's laughter was like the chime of temple bells, clear and resonant. "The heaviest hearts," he said, "are often the ones closest to awakening. You seek answers, Ananda, and that seeking is the first step on the path." With a gentle wave of his hand, Maitreya beckoned Ananda to follow him. The lake shimmered, its waters parting to reveal a golden path winding into a forest of towering Bodhi trees, their leaves glowing with an inner light. As they walked, Maitreya spoke of the cycles of time, how the Dharma wanes and waxes like the moon, how humanity forgets and remembers, and how, in the distant future, a new age would dawn, under his guidance as the next Buddha. But what does this mean for us, you might wonder? The tale of Maitreya is not locked in some far-off future. It is alive now in every choice we make, every act of kindness we offer. As we follow Ananda's journey, we'll uncover truths that resonate across lifetimes. If you feel this story awakening something within you, please share it with others. Let's spread this light together. And if you're moved to support these tales, consider a super thanks to keep this journey alive. The forest grew denser, its air thick with the hum of unseen life. Ananda's steps faltered as doubts crept in. "Lord Maitreya," he said, "the World is so broken. Greed blinds kings, anger tears families apart, and ignorance clouds even the purest minds. How can one being, even a Buddha, heal such wounds? Maitreya paused beneath a Bodhi tree, its branches heavy with blossoms that glowed like tiny suns. He plucked one and held it before Ananda. "See this flower," he said. "Its beauty exists because of the soil's nurture, the rain's gift, the sun's warmth. So too does awakening arise from countless small acts, yours, mine, and all, who strive for compassion." Ananda frowned, unconvinced. "But my acts are small, insignificant. How can they matter?" Maitreya's eyes softened, and he placed the flower in Ananda's hand. "Every seed matters," he said. "Plant one act of kindness, and it grows into a tree of wisdom. Plant many, and you create a forest that shelters all." As he spoke, the forest around them seemed to pulse, each tree a testament to countless beings who had chosen compassion over despair. Ananda felt a warmth in his chest, as if a spark had ignited within him, a spark that could grow, if only he dared to nurture it. This moment, dear listener, is not just Ananda's, it is yours. The spark of Maitreya's wisdom lies within you, waiting to be kindled. But how? Let's walk further with Ananda, for the path reveals more. Maitreya led him to a clearing where a village stood, its people weary from toil and strife. Yet, as Maitreya passed, their faces softened, their burdens seemed lighter. He did not preach or perform miracles. He simply listened, smiled, and offered a kind word to each soul. Ananda watched, amazed, as a quarreling couple reconciled. A child laughed for the first time in days, and an elder found peace in Maitreya's presence. "This is the power of loving kindness," Maitreya said. "It is not in grand gestures, but in the quiet moments of connection." Ananda's heart swelled, but questions still gnawed at him. If loving kindness is so powerful, why does suffering persist? Why must we wait for your time as Buddha? Maitreya's gaze turned to the horizon, where the first stars began to pierce the twilight. "Suffering persists because minds cling to illusion," he said. "But my time as Buddha is not separate from now. Every moment you choose compassion, you bring my era closer. You, Ananda, are not waiting for me, I am waiting for you." These words struck Ananda like a thunderbolt. Could it be true? Could his small, faltering steps truly shape the future? And what about us, you and I, listening to this tale? Are we not also part of this great tapestry, weaving Maitreya's age with every choice we make? If this story resonates with you, subscribe to explore more of these timeless truths and share it with those who might find hope in its message. A small act, like a super thanks, can help keep these stories flowing, illuminating paths for others. As night fell, Maitreya led Ananda to a hill overlooking the village. The stars above seemed to mirror the glowing blossoms below, a reminder that the heavens and earth are never truly separate. "Ananda," Maitreya said, "the path to awakening is not found in escaping the world, but in embracing it with a heart full of love. Every step you take, every word you speak, is a chance to plant the seeds of my coming. Will you walk this path with me?" Ananda's eyes filled with tears, not of sorrow, but of resolve. He nodded, wordless, as the spark within him grew brighter. And so, we pause here, at the edge of a promise. Ananda's journey is far from over, and neither is ours. What will he discover next? How will Maitreya's teachings unfold in a world so like our own, yet so filled with possibility? Asterisk, as the stars burned brighter above the hill where Ananda stood, their light seemed to weave a tapestry of hope, each glint a reminder that even in the darkest night, awakening is possible. Ananda's heart still thrummed with Maitreya's words. "I am waiting for you." The weight of that truth pressed against him, both daunting and exhilarating. How could a wanderer like him, so ordinary, so flawed, play a part in the coming of a future Buddha. Yet Maitreya's presence, warm and unwavering, urged him onward. And so, dear listener, let us follow them deeper into this sacred night, for the path ahead reveals not just Ananda's destiny, but ours. If you're captivated by this journey, subscribe to stay with us, share this tale to light another's way, and consider a super thanks to keep these stories alive. The hill sloped gently downward, leading to a valley where the village's lanterns flickered like fireflies. Maitreya walked ahead, his steps silent yet purposeful, as if the earth itself rose to meet him. Ananda hurried to keep pace, his mind a whirl of questions. "Lord Maitreya," he ventured, "you speak of planting seeds for your cunning, but the world is so vast, its suffering so deep. How can my small acts matter against such tides?" Maitreya paused, turning to face him, his eyes reflecting the starlight like twin moons. "Ananda," he said, "consider the ocean. It is vast. Yes, but it is made of countless drops. Each act of kindness, each moment of mindfulness, is a drop that shapes the whole. Never underestimate the power of one heart's resolve." These words stirred something deep within Ananda, like a lotus bud breaking through the mud toward sunlight. But before he could respond, Maitreya gestured toward the village below. "Come," he said, "let us see how your drops can shape the ocean." As they entered the village, the air grew thick with the sounds of life-children's laughter, mingling with the clatter of pots and murmurs of worry from weary souls. Maitreya led Ananda to a small hut where an old woman sat, her hands trembling as she mended a tattered robe. Her eyes were clouded with sorrow, her shoulders bowed under the weight of loss. "This is Sita," Maitreya said softly. "Her son was taken by illness, and her heart has not known peace since." Ananda hesitated, unsure of his place. "What can I do?" he whispered. Maitreya's smile was gentle but firm. "Listen to her, Ananda. Offer her your presence. That is enough." With a deep breath, Ananda knelt beside Sita, his voice faltering as he spoke. I am sorry for your pain," he said. Sita looked up surprised, her eyes meeting his. For a moment, neither spoke. Then, haltingly, she began to share her story, her son's laughter, his dreams, the void he left behind. Ananda listened, his heart aching yet open, and as Sita spoke, her trembling hands grew still, her face softened. When she finished, she touched Ananda's hand and whispered, "Thank you." As they left the hut, Ananda felt a shift within him, as if a knot in his chest had loosened. "I did so little," he said to Maitreya, yet she seemed lighter. Maitreya nodded. "You gave her what she needed, most a moment of being seen. That is the seed of awakening, Ananda. It grows in the heart, not in grand deeds. And isn't this true for us as well? In our busy lives, how often do we pause to truly see another?" This tale of Ananda and Maitreya reminds us that every small act ripples outward. If this moves you, share this story with someone who needs its light and subscribe to explore more of these timeless truths. A super thanks can help us keep weaving these tales for all who seek wisdom. The night deepened, and Maitreya led Ananda through the village, each encounter a lesson in the quiet power of compassion. They met a merchant consumed by greed, his heart heavy with mistrust. Maitreya guided Ananda to speak with him, not with judgment, but with questions that sparked reflection. By dawn, the merchant vowed to share his wealth with the hungry. They met a young girl, afraid of the world's cruelty, and Ananda, emboldened by Maitreya's example, offered her a story of courage that brought a smile to her face. With each step, Ananda felt the spark within him grow, its warmth spreading through his being. But doubts lingered. "Maitreya," he said, "these acts feel fleeting. What if they fade, like dew at sunrise. Maitreya led him to a stream that ran through the village, its waters glinting under the first rays of dawn. "Look at this stream," he said. "It flows without clinging to the banks, yet it carves mountains over time. Your acts of kindness are like this water, small in the moment, mighty in their persistence. Trust in their flow, Ananda." He knelt and cupped water in his hands, letting it slip through his fingers. Each drop returns to the stream, as each act returns to the Dharma. Nothing is lost. Ananda watched the water, mesmerized, and saw in its flow the interconnectedness of all things, how his actions, however small, wove into the tapestry of existence. But the path was not without challenge. As dawn broke, a commotion arose in the village square. A group of men argued fiercely, their voices sharp with anger over a stolen ox. The air crackled with tension, and Ananda felt his newfound confidence waver. "How can I help here?" he asked Maitreya. "Their anger is a fire my words will only burn." Maitreya's gaze was steady. "Fire can destroy, but it also purifies. Speak from your heart, Ananda, and let mindfulness guide you." With Maitreya's encouragement, Ananda stepped forward, his voice trembling but clear. He spoke not of blame, but of shared loss, of the ox as a symbol of their shared struggle. Slowly, the men's voices softened, and they agreed to seek a solution together. As the crowd dispersed, Ananda turned to Maitreya, astonished. "I thought I would fail," he said. Maitreya's laughter was like the stream's gentle murmur. "You succeeded because you spoke with truth and compassion. That is the way of the Bodhisattva. And so it is with us, dear listener. In our own lives, conflicts arise, doubts cloud our hearts. But Maitreya's teachings remind us that compassion is our guide. If this story inspires you to act with kindness, subscribe to join us for more, and share it to spread this wisdom. A small super thanks can help us continue this journey, planting seeds for a brighter world. As the sun rose fully, bathing the valley in golden light, Maitreya turned to Ananda. "You have seen the power of small acts, the flow of compassion, the strength of a mindful heart. But this is only the beginning. The path of the Bodhisattva is long, yet it starts with a single step." He pointed to the horizon, where the sky seemed to shimmer with possibility. "Will you walk with me, Ananda, and carry this light into the world?" Ananda's heart swelled, no longer heavy with doubt, but alive with purpose. He nodded, and as he did, the valley seemed to hum with the promise of awakening. And here, dear listener, our tale pauses, but the journey is far from over. Ananda's path with Maitreya will lead to greater revelations, challenges, and moments of profound awakening. What lies beyond the horizon? How will Ananda's small acts shape the future? Join us for the next chapter by subscribing. Share this story to inspire others. And if you feel moved, a super thanks can keep these tales flowing. The future Buddha is not a distant dream. He is the compassion we cultivate today. Will you take the next step with us? As the sun climbed higher, painting the valley with hues of gold, Ananda felt the spark within him flare into a steady flame. Maitreya's teachings had taken root. Each act of kindness, each mindful moment, was a step toward awakening, not just for him, but for all. The horizon shimmered as if beckoning him forward. "Maitreya," Ananda said, "how do I carry this light beyond this valley?" Maitreya's eyes gleamed like dawn's first light. "Live as you have learned," he said. "Let every breath be a vow to ease suffering. My time as Buddha comes when hearts like yours awaken." With that, Maitreya faded into the sunlight, leaving Ananda alone, yet not alone. His presence lingered in the whispering wind. Ananda turned back to the village, ready to walk the path of compassion. And so, dear listener, the tale of Maitreya ends, but our journey begins.